What's up, guys? This is Andy here with Ultimate iDevice Vids, and today we're going to check out 10 jailbreak tweaks for November 2016. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into these tweaks. So first up, we have Springy. This one's available for free, and this tweak provides your device with animated respring logos that you could install, and it also just provides some, other options for customizing your boot logo in general. But the, main feature of this tweak, the exclusive feature, is the animation component. So I currently have an animation installed right now that actually mimics the Red Snow jailbreak tool from back in the day, so that's definitely nostalgic for old jailbreakers. But I'm just going to go ahead and respring, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. So as you see here, it just gives that old downloading jailbreak data with the verbose boot and the pineapple there. So after you install the tweak, just jump into settings and head over to Springy. And in here, you have the enable or disable switch, and you can also just go into options here. And then you have two sections. You have general options, which are just general options that pertain to the boot logo. You could actually select a custom image if you want. You could select it from your camera roll. You could also just change the color and the background color of the app logo, so that's a customization option there. But again, other tweaks have done this. You could also invert the colors, so if you prefer the reverse to what the color of your device is, you could do that there, which is actually really nice. But again, the main feature is the animation. So if we go into here, you could use animation, and then as you see there, themes are installed to library/springs in the file system. And again, I'm using the Red Snow one. Now, the Red Snow one is available in Cydia, but you still need to actually manually do some stuff with iFile in the file system. So just go ahead and download iFile if you haven't already. It's just a Cydia tool. It allows you to view your file system, and then we'll go ahead and work from there. So once you go ahead and install the Red Snow thing, which I'm going to show you how to do right now, then we can move some stuff around in iFile. So if you just want to search in Cydia, it's just Red Snow Springy animation, just like this. So find that and install it. Now it's going to force you to install Winterboard because this theme for some reason thinks it needs Winterboard. I'm not sure why that is, but anyways, once you do that, just go ahead and run iFile on your device, and you're just going to go ahead and go all the way back until there's no more back button. Once you're in this state, just go into Library, and then you're going to find Themes, which should be towards the bottom. Open that up. And in here, you're going to find the Red Snow theme. So for some reason, again, it's in the Winterboard directory, but no matter, we're going to go ahead and select the edit button at the top. We're going to select the Red Snow theme. We're going to select the clipboard, and we're going to cut copy link. So we're going to go all the way back here once we've done that. And once we're all the way back, we're going to go back into Library, and this time we're going to go into Springy. And in here, you just want to go ahead and select edit, select the clipboard, and then paste. So I already have it in, so it's asking me to overwrite, but once you guys go ahead and paste that in, go ahead and respring your device after you've moved the files around. So just go ahead and do that however you want to do that. And then once you do so, go back into settings and then head over to select theme in the animation section, and you'll see the Red Snow theme. So just go ahead and check that. Now this is one of the only few animations available right now, the Red Snow one, so I definitely recommend you check it out. And again, it's nostalgic for me. But anyways, in terms of options for animations, you have the frames per second slider right here. So you can make it slower if you want to, but just by moving it down, or quicker by moving it up. I'll make it a little bit slower to show you guys what that looks like. We'll just leave it somewhere around here. 14. And then you could actually loop the animation indefinitely if you want to, X amount of times. You could also restore to defaults if you want to do that. But let's just go ahead and go back here, and we're going to select apply settings, and that will of course respring. And you can see there, it's a little bit slower there, and I do prefer that because you get to enjoy that animation for longer. But again, if you have more themes that you actually know how to install, you could just use that same directory we went into Library and then Springy and drop them in there and check them off. But again, I recommend using the Red Snow one just because it looks really nice. But once again, Springy. Next, we have Smart Volume Control, and this tweak improves the volume HUD system on iOS. So basically, normally how the volume HUD obstructs your view in the middle of the screen, this tweak improves that. As you can see, when I touch the volume buttons, the HUD now pops up, as you can see there, in the top left-hand corner of the screen where the carrier name would normally be. And of course, when I go ahead and stop adjusting it, as you can see, it'll go back to normal. So of course, there's been numerous other tweaks that have done this in the past. However, this is just another take on it, and I really do like it. I like, this particular mode right here in the corner. But there's also a slider mode as well, which I'll show you guys here. So we're just going to go ahead and jump into settings, and we're going to head over to Smart Volume Control. And of course, you can enable or disable a tweak. So first, let's just go over some of the other options. So we have volume step. This is basically the increment of volume points that it's going to adjust when you click the volume button. So normally it goes up 16 out of 100, and that's what it's set to normally right now. But if you really want to go fine grain and just have it individual little points, you could go anywhere from 100 individual steps all the way to 100%, and then you could have 50, 40, 30, 20, etc. So I'm just going to leave it on 16, but that's definitely an option you could customize. And here's the views. This is what I was talking about. There's the slider mode and there's the label mode. So it's called bar mode, a nice bar. And as you can see, if I change it to that, as you can see right there, it now appears as a bar in the status bar, which is really nice as well. So that's definitely just another look if you prefer that. And you could also actually grab this bar when it appears and actually adjust it just with your finger. So as you can see right here, if we just go ahead and grab the bar like this, we could slide it back and forth like this and adjust it that way as well. So that's another benefit of the bar. But if we just jump back to settings here, let's just change it back to the label now, and it'll go back. So there's some settings for both label and bar. So starting off with label, you could customize the positions. So by default, once again, it's upper left right there, as you see. But you could also do middle up, which I'll show you here, which is just right there where the clock normally is. And then there's middle under status bar, which is just a little bit lower. And then there's middle of the screen, which is basically like the normal HUD. But again, this is much smaller, so it's much better. Even if you decide to use it in the middle, it's just much smaller, so it's not going to interrupt. But again, I prefer the upper left for the carrier because I think that's makes the most sense. You could also choose the color of the font. Now, I actually put it to black because I think that's the most visible, but you could choose anything in here. And then let's just change it to bar because I want to show you guys some of the bar settings. So bar position, of course, horizontal, as you know it normally has been. Then there's horizontal under status bar, so if you want it to be a little bit lower. Then there's vertical, which actually just goes up and down, as you can see right there on the side of the screen. So that's definitely another option for you as well. Go back here, and there's also the bar color as well, which you can configure in here, just like that. So really awesome tweak. I just really prefer this over, again, the normal volume HUD. And again, I really like the indicator right where the carrier is there. That's probably one of the best implementations I've seen in terms of moving the volume HUD. So really cool tweak. Next up, we have Rift Board. This tweak actually allows you to access your home screen within applications using an activator gesture. So after you install the tweak, jump into settings, head over to Rift Board to configure it. And in here, we have two options. We have show action and dismiss action. So if we go into show action, just choose a gesture to show it. I use a triple press of the home button. And of course, now when I go ahead and do that, as you can see here, even within the settings app, the springboard actually appears just like this. Now, the dismiss action is optional because you could just press your home button to dismiss it like that. So it's not really even needed. But basically, we could just go ahead and launch another application from here. And as you can see right there, just like that, it just opens up that application. So we'll pull it up again, and we could just go ahead and scroll between pages as well, just like this. And 3D Touch even works as well, which is pretty cool. So let's just jump back to settings here. So there's some other options here. So there's visual and functional options. So you have no blur, light blur, or dark blur. So if you want a little bit of a blur effect, as you see here, you could have that as well. There's also a dark blur option as well. So I definitely don't like that one. I prefer just no blur. And there's also the allow app interaction, and this is only for no blur, but basically this allows you to actually interact with the app that's currently open while this tweak is active. So as you can see right here, I could actually scroll up and down in the settings application, use it normally, you know, toggle things normally. So basically, if I wanted to go ahead and scroll between the pages, I'd have to start swiping on the actual icons like this to do so. But again, I can still access the app in the background. So it's definitely a little weird like that, but that's completely up to you. So then there's quick dismiss, which is basically the ability to press the home button to dismiss it like this. So if you don't want that, you could turn it off, and then you'd be forced to use the dismiss action. Then there's allow rotation, which, as it sounds, will just allow this tweak to be used in rotation. However, it's labeled as experimental, so it might not be perfect, so just keep that in mind. But anyways, really nice tweak, Rift Board, just being able to kind of have an app switcher, you know, so to speak, but have it also be the home screen. So that's a really nice idea, just being able to switch from one app to another, basically using your home screen layout. So once again, it's called Rift Board. Next up, we have Emoji Suggest. This tweak actually ports the predictive text emoji compatibility from iOS 10 back to iOS 9 devices jailbroken. So basically, what I'm talking about here is when you could actually type a word on your keyboard, and then the predictive text will suggest the emoji that pertains to that word, so you could go ahead and use the emoji to replace the word. So then normally that's in iOS 10, but again, this tweak brings it to iOS 9. So if I go ahead and type in happy here, you can see there, just like that, in my predictive text, I get the emojis for happy. I can just tap on them, and it'll replace the word just like that. So it's just like it is in iOS 10. So let's go ahead and type in something else. Let's just say taco, and you can see right there, it's going to suggest the taco emoji. So simple as that. I don't know, let's just say angry. And sure enough, you get the angry emojis to choose from. So again, really nice to have. If you're staying on an older firmware for, you know, the jailbreak, of course, you can now get this new emoji feature. And it has nearly 700 words compatible with it, so that's definitely nice. Pickpocket is a very powerful tweak for protecting your iPhone against thieves. It just contains a plethora of options. So if you guys jump into settings and head over to Pickpocket, you'll have all these options in here. So as you can see right there, we have airplane mode options, automatic shutdown options, hard reset options, lock screen information options, remote action options, shutdown options, SIM card pulled options, unlock options, and password options. Now, I'm not going to go into everything in here, but I'll just go over some of my favorite features. So starting off with something very simple, the airplane mode options. You could use this to basically have airplane mode be disabled in certain circumstances. So a thief can't turn your phone in airplane mode, so basically they can't go and disable all connections, so you can't track it and use Find My iPhone. So I have it set so on the lock screen here, airplane mode just doesn't work, as you can see. So someone's going to try to put my phone in airplane mode to disconnect it. They're not going to have any luck doing so. And I also want to point something out under shutdown options. So there's actually a fake shutdown option in here, which is very cool. So you can essentially make it so, when someone turns your phone off, it'll look like it turned off, but it didn't. You can still track it using Find My iPhone and get the location of it, but it'll look like it's off. So that's a perfect thing for a thief. Most things, I'm sure, thieves probably turn the iPhones off after they take them so they could, do whatever they want with them. But again, it'll look like it's shut down, but it won't. So let me go ahead and show you guys how this works. So you'll see here, I'll get the normal power off screen. However, when I slide, it's going to look like it turns off, but it's actually not going to. You can see that little wheel there. If you're an iPhone aficionado, you'll notice that that's actually smaller than normal, and that's not the default little screen there. So in this state, as you can see there, it's not going to turn on. So, but it looks like it's completely off and disconnected. So in this state, the phone's still on. It's still trackable, but again, it's just in this kind of hibernation mode. So very, very useful here. Now, to actually get out of the state, you could just hard reset by holding the home and power buttons until the Apple logo shows up. But very, very useful, again, if your iPhone gets stolen. Now, obviously, if the thief takes it, puts it into DFU mode and restores it, obviously you're going to be out of luck. But it's certainly a layer of protection there that normally wouldn't be there. And something to note here, after I reset my phone, hard reset after using that, sometimes my do not disturb and low power mode turn on. I'm not really sure why that is, but just go ahead and keep an eye on that if that's happening to you. And so something else I want to point out under the hard reset options is the same thing for hard reset. It's a fake hard reset, option, which essentially allows you to make it look like your iPhone is hard reset if someone tries to, but in reality, it's just in that kind of hibernation state. So basically, normally, of course, when you hold down the power and home buttons on your device for, about 10 seconds, your phone will flash black and it'll hard reset reboot. So if someone tries to do this to your phone, basically it'll happen. What will happen is it'll enter this hibernation state before it actually hard resets, but it'll look like it already did. And then, of course, maybe you could track it or whatever. So let me go ahead and show you guys this. So I'm just going to hold the home and power buttons here for a few seconds. And you're going to notice here that it's going to hard reset much faster than it normally does there. So as you can see, that's all it took. But, of course, it's not actually hard reset because, as you see here, when I try to power it on, nothing happens when I try to do anything. Again, it's in this limbo state. But if someone, a thief tried to hard reset it and they think that it's off somehow, I suppose this could help because, obviously, it's not off. So, of course, once again, to get out of this, we're going to do a real hard reset just by holding the buttons down for as long as it takes until the actual Apple logo shows up. And then, of course, our phone will boot up, as you see here. And also, I want to show you the lock screen information options for pickpocket. So basically in here, if you go in there, you could enable a user image. You could put in your information so it's available on the lock screen if someone finds your lost iPhone. So you could have my name right there, your city, country, number to call, and you could also have the option to send an SMS or an email. So just very useful stuff in here. Again, you could go through there and configure it all to your liking, but let me just show you what the result looks like. So on the lock screen with this tweak, as you can see, we have a new option that says found this iPhone. If we go ahead and tap on it, we get this nice animation, and we have this very nice display with some of the information. Again, the photo, some info about it. We could call, email, just like that, and then we could tap close. So that alone could be its own jailbreak tweak. But again, you have all those other options, most of which I haven't even touched on. So again, all I'm saying is if you're worried about your iPhone getting stolen and you're jailbroken, you have to try Pickpocket. Lock browser places a browser on your lock screen. So if I just go ahead and lock my device here, as you can see, of course, normally in iOS, you just swipe like this to unlock. But now if we swipe the other way, we have the access to this browser right on the lock screen without even having to unlock your device. So up at the top, we have the URL bar. Of course, we could just go ahead and type in any URL. We're just going to go ahead and do that right now. And then just go ahead and select go. And it'll work just like that. So a nice little browser on your lock screen. Definitely convenient to have if you just want to quickly look something up without actually fully going into your device. And also, maybe if you hand your device to, a friend or someone who you don't want going into your device, but they still want to browse the internet, this is perfect because the phone's not even unlocked, but they could still, browse the internet. And of course, you have the refresh button there. To refresh the current page, you could go home, which is just Google. And then you could go back to the previous page just like this. as you can see there. So yeah, just a nice little web browser for the lock screen. So let me go ahead and unlock here, and I'll show you guys the settings. So let's just jump into lock browser right here. And of course, you can enable or disable the tweak. And then you have the light mode and dark mode. We'll change it to dark mode. Then you could actually change the homepage from Google to anything you want. Then you have the ability to round the corners there. And of course, save changes in Respring after you're done making all your changes. We're just going to go ahead and do that. And there's our cool little springy animation there. But once our device is back up here, we can just swipe over. And now you can see it has the dark mode, which is actually really slick. But yeah, guys, once again, lock browser. Playlist alarm allows you to set a playlist from your music application as your alarm when you wake up. So let me go ahead and show you guys how this works. So we're just going to jump into the clock app here. We're going to make a new alarm. And as you see there, down below at the bottom, we have a new playlist option. And if you go into here, it's going to show you all the playlists, in your Apple Music library, just like this. And you can just go ahead and check off the one you want. I'm just going to check purchased. And there's also a shuffle option, which allows you to shuffle that playlist. So it'll just play a random song every day. So you wake up to a different song every day. That's very, very nice. And, but by the way, guys, this is not going to show as a normal alarm. It's not going to, have that little pop-up in the middle of the screen. It's just going to start playing the music. That's literally it. So that's a very pleasant way to wake up, especially if you just want to listen to music in the morning anyways. It'll kind of get you started with that. Or, of course, you could just pause it. But either way, really nice tweak. Once again, it's called Playlist Alarm. Playtopia is a mini player for iOS. So basically, as you see right here, there's a small mode for it. Then there's a larger mode if you go ahead and double tap like this. And you have various different controls in here. So as you see, we have the night mode and dark mode control, just like that. We have the little button there that allows us to go miniature. And then, of course, you could just double tap to make it, larger, or you could just double tap to make it mini as well. That's pretty nice. There's also the album artwork over there, music application, or whichever application you're playing from right there. And if you tap on the album artwork, you can see there it'll switch from volume to the seeking of the track, just like that. And if you tap and hold on the icon of the app, it'll just open up the respective app. So pretty nice tweak. If we just drag it to the side like this, as you can see, it'll dock, so that's pretty nice. Also, when it's in the miniature mode as well, it'll dock as well. Just like that. So you can set it off to the side. I also like how the seeker goes in a circle when it's in the miniature mode, how you can see it slowly, progressing as the track does. So definitely a nice mini player option. You guys can configure it to your liking if we jump into settings. And we just go ahead and find the tweak, Playtopia. And in here, you can enable or disable it. You could hide it in specific applications. You have a list of the apps on your device to do that. You could hide in all apps if you want it just to be on the home screen or lock screen. Then you have the show hide activation method if you want to do that. So we're just going to use triple press the home button here. And I'll show you, as you can see there, it'll hide and it'll reappear like so. You can hide it on the lock screen. You could have it so it pauses when you drag it to the edge automatically, which is enabled by default. You can also have it so it resumes from the edges as well. Personally, I'm going to keep these off because I personally don't want that to happen. But anyways, guys, once again, Playtopia, another mini player option. Crypto allows you to encrypt text with its own kind of algorithm to do so. So pretty cool idea here. After you install the tweak on your device, jump into settings and then just open up the crypto settings to configure it. Then you're going to need to set a password. So just go ahead and select that. And then you could insert the password and repeat it. For this demonstration, I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're just going to enter that one more time. And then just go ahead and select save. And now you're done. So basically how this works is integrated into the sheet options within iOS. So if I just go ahead and type in something secure or secret text, I don't know, something like that, we can just go ahead and copy it. So I'm just going to copy the text. Then in your little share menu here, or your little pop-up menu, just go ahead and go over there, to the next page. And then you'll see the new buttons, crypt and decrypt. So if we go ahead and select crypt, there you go. As you see there, it actually turns it into this completely indecipherable mess. So you could send this to someone else who has the same tweak installed, or you could just keep it there for yourself if you're worried about it. Then whenever you want to decrypt it, just select the exact text here that you did encrypt. And now you could go ahead and select decrypt. Put in the password, of course, you'll need to do that. And once we go ahead and successfully do that, boom, it's back to normal. So that's a cool way of communicating with other people who have this tweak, or just, with yourself if you get nervous about having secure information. NC Text Color allows you to change the text colors in your notification center. So as you can see right there, for the header there and the actual text of the notification, it's completely different. Also for the date and everything over there, you can see it's definitely a different color. So if you guys jump into settings after you install the tweak, you can head over to NC Text Color, and of course you can enable or disable the tweak in here. So after I installed this tweak, I had to go ahead and toggle it off and on in order for it to actually work. So just keep that in mind. But then you have the notification section and the today section. And under notifications section, we have headers and text. And under the today, we have date, header, and text. Just go into any of these categories and configure it to your liking. So just drag to the color you want and make sure all the sliders are over to the side. And again, just make sure the color is what you want. Tap down here, then it'll go ahead and reflect right there. After you've done that, just go ahead and select the restring button at the top. And that is it. After that, you'll be done and your notification center will be fully customized. All right, guys, that pretty much wraps up this video. Hope you guys enjoy these tweaks. Hopefully, we're getting closer to that iOS 10 jailbreak that all of us are wanting. But yeah, guys, again, that wraps up this video. If you enjoyed these tweaks, again, make sure to give the video a like, subscribe to this channel for many more videos pertaining to jailbreak tweaks, iOS content, iOS devices, that kind of thing. Also, make sure to follow the channel on Twitter, like it on Facebook, and also make sure to follow me on Twitter. I'll put all those links down below in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.